About the camera stuff.
Do you want it?
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, we need better lighting.
All right, you ready?
We're live. We're live on YouTube. Caleb and Brittany Auman Landscape. How you doing? Probably our second Hardscaper hotline, folks. Hey, welcome to the Auman Landscape Hardscape Academy show. I don't know what we're doing actually here, but we're going live for the heck of it and having fun. Hopefully, doing it. You can hear a battery powered cutoff saw in the background there. Mr. Travis is here. He's finishing up our front entry there, getting that concrete dust all over our truck.
The only way to do it.
The only way to do it. So, hey, folks, we're live on YouTube and Instagram.
From the new Kid Contractor podcast.
From
the under construction Kid
in
Contractor.
progress studio here. So we've got these beautiful soundboards here, noise canceling boards here. Courtesy of the Wood Veneer Hub. So thank you folks for that. Appreciate it. We were going to talk a few things here. Britt and I did a podcast yesterday and to drop today, Kid Contractor podcast, talking about rain delays and rain policy and stuff like that. It's a really good show. I'm really pleased with it, but kind of talking about the conundrum of, thank you, MRG, talking about the conundrum of, when you call off Big Buckeye, they just followed yesterday, I saw. But the conundrum of, you call your guys off and sure enough, it's going to, it's okay. It's threatening rain, right? Whatever. And you call everybody off. Sure enough, it stays dry, sunny, lollipops and rainbows, unicorns, the whole bit. Bring them in, get to the job site, rains all day. It's a disaster, right? Seems like it never fails. And through that whole podcast, through the whole series, that show, we talk about the importance of just kind of going for it. And, as long as it's not just a doom and gloom, forecast where it's just like 100% chance of rain, whatever. But if it's like 70, I would say probably 70 to 80% or under of chance of showers kind of deal. One thing that says rain, right? The forecast. It's another thing if it's just chance of showers, right? Then we're going for it. We're sending guys out, and hopefully to our credit that we're actually going to get something done, and guys are going to sit in the rain for too long. Britt, take it away real quick. I'll be right back.
It would be interesting. Does anyone have a rain policy that they're willing to share? Or, do you guys just call off this? If you see it on the weather app, I use I think it's IntelliCast weather app. I like it. Caleb hates it. Supremescape says, get the guys frog tog. My eyes are so bad. Rain jackets and pants. They're lightweight and 100% waterproof. Okay, so I got those one day because we were doing stormwater work and I had to work through the rain. But the store only had like kid size. And I was like, okay, I'm kind of short. So I got like the extra large or whatever size they had. Dude, I bent over and like the whole pants system like split in half. And then I tried to button the jacket over my sweatshirt. And I was like picking something up out of the truck and the arm part ripped off. So I have not had a good experience with those. But the guys do have rain jackets and stuff. They just, I don't know. They just don't like them. And it's probably part of like, you put it away and it's wet and moldy. I don't know. Good morning, everyone. Pittsburgh forecasters keep us on our toes. The saw cuts driving him nuts. Looks good though. So Supremescape says they update every morning at 6:30 a.m. if it's truly going to downpour. Then we'll call off the day.
Man, they get up that early? Geesh,
So if you listen to the podcast, you'll know that we turn it over to our foreman to decide if their job site is workable. And hopefully they've looked at the forecast for the week and they can plan their job ahead of time. So if they know it's going to rain on Wednesday, they can get to a good point on Tuesday to where they are able to work on something in the rain. Or if we have to build something in the shop, like if, say you're building a grill island custom in the shop or a fire table or something like that, or you have picnic tables to build or something, maybe you can dedicate that time. So it's great to be looking ahead to make sure your guys are getting their full hours in for the week and not working Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And being productive, right? Not just providing hours to provide hours, which is a privilege and a bonus, in its own right.
Please
right?
Don't turn that on.
I'm going to totally turn that on. What's up, Cedric? How you doing, man? I'll turn it down to a natural light though. but we need.
Okay, so we have Instagram going on up here. Check in from Delaware. That's close.
Delaware, Ohio?
Yeah.
Or Delaware State?
Delaware, Ohio.
Okay.
They're saying Happy New Year.
I wish I knew what I was doing.
Solo Cut says we have nice jackets that look awesome and are waterproof. We got them from Chant at Daily Hustle
Chant's
store.
Daily Hustle, yeah. There's Cedric on YouTube there. Okay, cool.
So there's
We've been putting a lot of effort into the YouTube channel, folks.
Thunderbird,
Thunderbird.
Let's see. The team decide if they want to take a half day or full day off because we do 4/10, so we have a backup day.
Yeah.
Which is the beauty of the backup day. It just allows for that gap in your schedule to make up as needed.
Economic Outlook 2023. We'll do a podcast on that for sure, more in depth. But I think first half of the year, I don't think you're going to see a lot of pullback in the spring. The fall and summer might be a little slower than usual, and something folks are going to have to do before. Something folks are going to have to do that I don't think they've had to do in a long time or ever, depending on your tenure in business. And that's sell work. You're actually going to have to work on being proactive selling work. It's not going to just rain into you necessarily. But, at the same time, I nearly wonder because there's so few people willing to physically work, like actually get physical work done. I think for the folks willing to physically work, I think your workload's going to be probably pretty okay. Now, it may not be like the super awesome high-end projects that everybody likes to do or wants to do. That might slow down a little bit, might not. They say the wealthy always have money. And even talking with AJ Brentzel at Brex, he was saying that a lot of corporations see a down economy as a time to invest because they know work and materials is on sale, essentially. So they generally see an uptick in work in their experience now on some turndowns and some recessions. So I thought that was interesting, but that's going to be on the big corporations that are really forward thinking. I was listening to a podcast called All In the other day, and it covers a wide array of things. And they're big money guys and, on the board of Twitter and other boards and have investment groups and all this crap. But they're already looking ahead into 2024 when they see the uptick in the recession about mid 2024. And they're already making plans on how to be on the upswing of an economic recovery in 2024, which to have that kind of foresight, I think is really cool for the kind of folks that make those kind of plays. You know what I mean? So I think that's super cool.
Okay. Do you do any maintenance like spring cleanups and mulch anymore?
Yep, we do. Just for what we do, maybe a dozen properties, maybe.
Yeah, we do more mulching than you'd think, but
probably. So, but still, a dozen properties maybe of mulch, and then we buy all bagged mulch and pallets, which they're all sitting out back waiting to go this season.
We have enough mulch to keep two guys busy. Maybe a helper every now and then for about a month.
Andy Ford says that last live was the best on YouTube. I wonder what one that was.
Probably the one that was just 30 seconds ago that there was no video.
Yeah, no talking, no video. Yeah,
so he didn't have to see us.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so you're welcome.
So Turner says, so I bring the guys in and we'll pay for 2 hours if we get rained out before that. But we usually have enough shop work to keep them busy and wait for the rain to stop.
Yes.
And if you're working close to home, that's obviously great. And we try to work within 5 miles of our shop.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of work very, very local.
So that's definitely doable. We just, one of our guys drives like 40 minutes into work.
No, he drives a full hour.
A full hour into work. So if we're bringing him in, I want to make sure that he's able to at least get 4 hours because he has a ton of commute time.
Or wave him off entirely. And just trying to be courteous or, mindful of that. And Coops Cuts says, good morning, broadcasting from Chapo Amano. Yeah, not Rancho Amano, which is the homestead. This is
Chapo Amano
HQ. Well, and we had Rio Amano out front, which is the river.
It is back. It is
Rio
flowing.
Amano is back out front. Yeah. So Solo Cuts has a.
Now I don't want anyone to get too worried about Rio Amano. It will get fixed.
Have a project going in next week around in-ground pool, softscape lighting, limestone chunk accent wall. Can't wait to get out there. Heck yeah, man. And solo cuts, good for you, man. You've been stepping games up a lot there. I really,
that's crazy.
I
His
really
growth
think that's
over
cool.
the past few years.
Yeah, congrats on that. That's
Do you guys do any work in Canal Winchester? We do.
We do. Nate's Enterprises. So I'm guessing you know someone there, or you work out of there, or whatever. So holler if you're local. Holler at me here. I'd love to connect. Oh no, Landscape Daddy. He's here to harvest content just to make fun of me on Not Our Finest Hour podcast. So better look out. I should listen to that show sometime. Oh, Zulo's here. Oh no.
He's also here to give you.
What was that last comment ahead of those guys?
Worried about having to sell work instead of the calls coming to me.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. And so
just see who the real salesmen are in the group.
it will. I mean, I think folks are going to have to actually work a little harder to close on jobs. No, I'll have to check out the Not Our Finest Hour podcast. I haven't got a chance to listen to the episode. I've heard it's not for everybody though, so I don't know. Maybe it's not for me either. Let's see here.
Have you ever done snow removal for any of your customers?
No.
Residentially?
Yeah, well, way back, but it doesn't count because I was just an idiot running around with a shovel and a snowblower.
We have no snow advice. Zero.
Oh, I don't know about that. That's not true. But I would say route density with snow, also critical. I would definitely say that. Supremescapes, 100% agree. Just had Jeffrey Scott's masterclass yesterday and their guest economic speaker. It will be a time to actively be selling 2 to 4% marketing budget minimum. Yeah, I think that's.
What is one thing you would immediately change about your business from How to Hardscape?
Yeah, what is that CA $13.99? I mean, it's for sale for $13.99 Canadian. Man, that's awesome. We could buy How to Hardscape for $9 American.
I don't know if that.
I'll take you up on that, Mike. We'll settle the details.
Can we click
later.
on it and buy it? No.
Was one thing you would change immediately about your business?
That's a good question for the group.
Yeah, I don't know. That is a good question. I don't feel like Matt Lamar, true international under pressure. I agree with that 100%. What would I change immediately about the business? I'm really happy with where the business is at in the shop right now. Where we really need to get, I don't know. There's at the micro level, we're running pretty good. The guys are getting out, getting stuff done. We're outfitted, equipped very well. There's all that. I would love to get our job boards, and I'll tell you scheduling. We got to get our scheduling under control, and we've done an awesome job on that, comparatively speaking, over the last 3 to 5 years. Just as in regards to not overcommitting ourselves, that's the big thing there. We've gotten very diligent and committed to not overcommitting ourselves. What we suck at is really just trying to make sure we're more on task and more on point with schedule. And that when we run into some
we need to get
openings in our schedule, like time-wise or job finishes earlier or whatever, we get onto the next thing and produce income. We leave a lot of money on the table or slip away or whatever you want to say by not having our schedule like backup and filler jobs ready to roll. And with the shop, I believe that's going to change because now anytime we get a small job that's booked and scheduled and deposited, all that material's coming here to the shop. It's going to sit and be waiting. So it's like, hey, we got a guy available tomorrow. He can run out and do that 1 day single planting install. Bam, I got 3 loaders now. Like we can go knock some stuff like that out. So I think our revenue there will be much bigger. So schedule, just getting an actual job planning. That's more probably it. So good question, HTH there, Mike at How to Hardscape. I think he's on that NOFH podcast too.
Okay. Malamar says, hi. There have been lots of people in my area that have told me they can't find people to take their money because they're smaller projects.
Yeah.
Which you hear concrete people say, or like people looking for concrete jobs all the time. The sidewalks in our area, that's how we ended up doing a sidewalk once, which we'll never do again. But that happens, especially in the concrete world. And a lot of people call us like, we don't know if you'll do our project or not. And I think Andy Mulder's the one that'll take on any project, but it's not on the schedule.
John Seeger. Yeah, it's just when we get to it. But John Seeger with Signature, I love what he does because he doesn't want to do small jobs. And I was talking to Luke Scott about this yesterday. Any work that they don't want to do more of, they never promote it on any of their social channels. I mean, he does not put it anywhere, Facebook, Instagram, nothing. So if it's a little job planting 1 tree or a little garden wall, he never, and it's like a one-off for an existing client. I keep thinking there's something on my shirt, but it's a stupid screen. He never promotes it on Instagram. Never. It's a ghost project, and it's because he doesn't want people thinking that's what he does, and so he doesn't promote it at all. I think that's really smart, gutsy, but I think it's really awesome. And that way, the only project he promotes are great big projects or bigger projects, bigger patios,
But
and you get known
but the
more
filler
for what
work
you.
is still.
I'm not saying he doesn't take it on. He doesn't promote
I
it. It still
understand.
comes on. So I think that's really awesome. And I think that's just awesome. I think it's really gutsy and cool.
Oh, yes, we do work in Winchester. Do you have a set distance on work radius? As close as humanly possible.
Yeah. Molder.
Outdoors.
Oh, no. Mud Works Outdoors. I thought it was Molder Outdoors. Like
Kinda
Molder.
looks like his logo.
Well, I was like Molder X Outdoors. Like, man, brand change again. Mud Works. Okay, hi. What were we just saying?
Our work radius.
Yeah, commercial work with the stormwater stuff for the one company we work under, we're working 2-3 hours away for that stuff. Generally, the really far stuff Britt and I are handling now, we're self-performing. Our local or our hardscape work, I don't want to travel much more than 40 minutes anymore. Just depends on just the routing. If it's an easy drive for an hour, just all freeway and stuff, yeah. If it's a ton of back roads and hill climbs and all that stuff, we're going to be a little more discerning. But I mean, we price it all into the work. And really, we just tell clients like, hey, we'd actually love to work there. It's an ideal project for us. There's a lot of drive time and you're going to pay for that. So, we might not be the best value for you. We are a great company for you. We might not be the best value for you. And that's up to them to decide. So, what else we got here?
Any tips on expanding from a 3-year landscape design company to a design and build company? I'm a one-man show with all industry experience since I was a child.
I was reading a YouTube comment. I'm sorry. What was that?
Do you have any tips on expanding into a design build company, a one-man show with industry experience?
From a 3-year landscape design company to a design
build company.
Oh, they're only design. Oh, neat. Equip yourself as best you can, as fast as you can, affordably.
You need to find a key right-hand man.
Key right-hand person.
How
dare you? Right-hand man, shame on you. Right-hand person. And
whatever, guys.
And but finding those key peoples. I mean, I would be getting that job search right now, and then depending on what you want to do with your company too, of course, and then equipping. Just you're not going to get good employees if you're like, hey, we got to run 40 yards of mulch up this hill with a wheelbarrow. You're not going to get anybody to work like that anymore.
And you have to scoop it off a truck. Off a flatbed.
Yeah, like so you need to equip yourself. You need to equip yourself as best you can, as fast as you can. So sell some stuff to buy like a Ditch Witch 1550 is much as they don't pay me to promote that machine. It's a great size machine, $60,000, but it does everything a full size skid steer does except reach high enough to dump in like big dump trucks.
And that's handy for pavers. That's handy for landscaping.
But even still, buy a dingo mini skid steer of some kind. And just mechanize as fast as you can afford to.
What's the Auman in game from Zulu?
Not die or retire broke. Because I did pretty good in my first 30 years of life to set myself up for retirement failure. And now the goal is to not retire broke. So that's the Auman in game. Cedric's asking about a group breakfast before or after the podcast summit. I don't know, Cedric. Let's talk about that and see what we could maybe figure out. Andy Ford says, looking back on YouTube here. We're live on YouTube. I think we're about to hit 6,000 subs on YouTube, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at expanding right now. I do mowing, laying mulch, all the basic landscaping stuff. I've been looking to get in pavers. What's your opinion on getting in pavers, best startup tools, etc.? Number one is make sure it's something you actually really want to do. Because when you decide that it's something you really want to do, you need to go borderline all in. I mean, it's a hard business that's hard on the body, and you have got to make a lot of financial, if you're going to do it right and do it to where you actually make money and you're actually productive and you don't die a withered up, old, broken back person, and your team members too. You got to mechanize as fast as possible. So once you know you like hardscape work, then do that. And then invest a couple $1,000 in the Hardscape Academy, and that'll get you really going there too. And you'll be in good shape. So there you go. Sales plug. What's Alpha Landscapes Iowa?
Caleb, will you start an OnlyFans account to supplement your income if we have a recession this year?
I am. What's that mean? I'm one bad day and a rainstorm or something away from selling pictures of my feet on the internet. I am not beyond feet. Selling your picture of your feet seems like an easy thing. So yeah, Riley, I will do that. I'll do whatever I have to. Matter of fact, but Lord willing, I don't have to get to the OnlyFans part of it.
Paul asked, how's the shop? Paul, the shop will be ready for the podcast summit on January 28th, even if it kills us to get there.
Who's my favorite landscape guru?
Probably Paver King. He's full of value.
Yeah.
I mean, value every day.
I love it. The not the guru you deserve, or not the guru you need, but the one you deserve. I love that. It's such a David Goggins kind of thing. It's like, if you think you suck, it's because you do. Stay hard. Like I love that. So there you go.
How far out do you try to book so you aren't too busy with stuff you don't love as much? So we're always I will book projects out as far as I possibly can. And then the filler work is like, if we get a bad rain day, or we try to, since we're only one install crew currently, we try not to open up. We don't open up multiple projects at a time. So if we get rain out of a project or we're waiting on materials, it's nice to have a filler job that we can jump on and complete in a day or two, and then go back over to the other install job when we're done.
But it's tough to do that stuff if you don't have the materials sitting on hand. And then like that morning, you got to scramble to go get the stuff and get on site. With having a shop facility, once the job has a deposit check, we can go buy the materials and like, hey, Mrs. Herfenherbler, we had an opening for 2 days from now. We're going to be there. We'll be there. And I don't have to scramble around to get, materials on hand, and the guys can just load up that day or that morning or that evening, ideally, which we don't do, and get to it. So that's like the great thing about the filler work. But I don't like I want to try to really stay away from a lot of.
How far out do you try to book though?
As far as we can, ultimately. I mean, why not, right? Why not have your pipeline totally full? Mark Bradley with LMN is always preaching, trying to sell. And this is something we talk about for winter work. Any work that we can push off to the winter time, as far as like brush clearing jobs, some drainage work, like French drainage, anything I can push off to do in the winter time, I'm going to do my best to push off to the winter time. Peak season stuff and really hot to trot jobs that really are ready to come in and go. Mark Bradley was always big on like, anytime you can book jobs in the winter for the summer, do that, because your spring jobs that come in are like, oh, I got a graduation party in 2 weeks, and well, here's the price to do that, but we can get you and sell that prime time. This is the thing. Make sure your spring work is being priced at prime time spring rates.
Like Super Bowl commercial rates.
Yeah, right. And I always thought that was pretty smart. Mark Bradley had a giant company, TBG, the Beach Gardener, I think is what it was called. But they were so big, they'd keep a couple floater crews just to handle last minute. I mean, they had like 20 crews. So they keep a couple crews that were specifically only scheduled out a couple weeks. So that way they could take those really high profit, high margin jobs that are, I need this last minute kind of thing. Well, we got a crew that can get you, and we do that intentionally. So I think that's a big deal. I can hear the 4,300 rolling in here with a load of dense grade aggregate base for Andy Mulder's day here next week, January 11th. He's coming in to do a training with us here at the Hardscape Academy of the Mulder Edge. And we're going to be doing that Mulder edging with him. Andy's going to be leading that class.
You can sign up for that at the Hardscape Academy.
Yeah, I mean, you can still get in on that. We've got 5 people coming to that at the moment. There's that beautiful load of base material right there.
So our leads are coming from word of mouth still.
Yeah, but
our website does well.
Yeah,
but it's usually the website, and then someone's like, "Oh, we asked around, and someone knew someone who had a patio or worked with you before." What's your minimum price for jobs this 2023 season?
I don't think any job that takes 2 guys 2 days, we can hardly touch for under $3,500. And that's maybe not even realistic. It just depends on what's involved with that. But minimum anything is probably $3,500. Now, if it's a repeat client that we've done work for, and they're like, hey, I just need 1 oak tree out back or 1 oak tree at this property, you bet it's $1,000. We'll get it in there. We'll take care of it. Whatever. Like, but if it's a new lead and somebody we've never worked with before, and again, this is based off of like the economy being strong for the last 15 years. That may change. All these things are subject to change,
Someone
of course.
bought a badge.
Okay, whatever that is. Thank you for buying a badge. That actually is like super awesome. They took time to do that.
Candy
and
Services
spent money.
says.
Yeah, Candy Services. Hey, C&I. What's up, Christian? Young hustler, John Henry.
When do you want to retire?
About 5 years ago.
No, I don't know that we'll ever. Like, I want to retire, but I don't know that I'll ever just be able to not do anything. And I'm not a quilter, so I don't want to say that we'll always. In my opinion, I don't know. We've never really talked about this fully, but I don't want to say that we'll never have the company. I think I'd still be like that old lady that comes in with her wheelchair to like just sit in the office and talk to people. I don't know. I want to travel and I want to like not be as involved as I am currently. I don't know, 55.
I'd like 60. To be set up financially pretty good by the time I'm 50. Whether or not we hit that or not, I don't know. But like I said, I got a lot of catch up to do because I was an idiot for the first 30 years of my life and ruined my financial. I enjoyed my youth at the expense of my future, right? That's one of the greatest things. There's steel cuts. How you doing again?
What does Auman look like 3 years from now?
2 million in sales, 6 guys in the field, and this place running like a well-oiled machine.
I mean, we'll still have the training center, the podcast,
profitable, debt-free, all that kind of mentality.
Auman 3 years should be debt-free at the
most,
at the rate that we're at our expectations. Or
it's not our highest priority at the moment.
What events are you going to this off season?
That's a good question.
We're going to.
Hey, Keith.
We're going to a few trainings.
We're live on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you, sir. They hit 5 tons real good.
Yep, 5.02.
That machine's amazing, isn't it? That's so wild.
But we are going to
You want to find a place to dump that out back, like, or make a place, or is there just nowhere at the moment? Go ahead.
We're going to a training for a couple paper suppliers, and I don't know. Are we doing any other industry events in the winter? I don't think so.
Okay, yeah.
Because we have our in-person trainings every other week, and then we're taking a trip or two. We are going to Con Expo in March in Las Vegas. It's a trade show that's once every 3 years. It is the coolest trade show that I've ever been to. You should definitely go. So let's see. Brian Fullerton, he's here. I'm losing it. Okay, how's everyone doing? Trying to scroll through this. Phone's lagging. Okay, someone wants us to check DMs. Yeah, I'll get to that after this. No sound. Sound is gone. Sorry, guys. Do we have sound? Okay. Do we have sound back? Does YouTube have sound?
Whatever they got online, usually they can tell you where the aisle is.
Hold on, guys. We apparently are having issues.
But yeah, box of spice, and like, so whatever they got on pallet, 20, 30, 40 bags. We have to get a full skid. That's good. Thanks, sir.
All right, Brian, do we have sound? We lost sound.
With what?
Okay, Lawn Care Pro says we have sound on YouTube.
Okay.
What is your favorite podcast from the Not Your Finest Hour podcast?
Maybe it's that one if I'd ever listened to it. I don't know.
We lost sound because I received a call. So I think that's what the problem was.
Okay, fixed, Mulder says.
Okay.
Not Mulder X Outdoors, Mulder Outdoors now from that. So thank you on the sound reports there. Appreciate that, folks. What is a podcast I've been listening to? I listen to a ton of podcasts. I can't say I know what my favorite is. I'd have to think, but I mean, you got to, of course, check out the Mulder Life podcast. Here's let's see here. I'm listening to All In right now. That's a good one. Not Our Finest Hour. I'll have to check one out. I'm listening to Urban Warfare Project, which is interesting. Oil and Gas This Week. That's kind of an interesting one. Cleared Hot. I enjoy that. Ecom Crew, Dirt Talk with BuildWit, Entre Leadership. Now here's some of our friends. If you want to check them out, Green Industry Podcast. I came across Mac and Steel here, the Lawn Care Power Moves podcast. BB Outer Spaces is pretty good. Tim Ferriss, Jordan Peterson, of course. Fullerton Unfiltered.
I think Jordan
Paul's How I Built
Peterson
This
is
pretty
his
good.
like bedtime story. He listens to that.
The Way I Heard It, enjoy that. Joe Rogan when he was on there. Hardcore History is really good. Yeah, so that's a whole
Brian
list.
Fullerton. Someone is making us an offer on brians10.com. Wonder who has that.
So yeah, how did you learn Hardscape? I bought a book, and this was back pre-internet, folks. It's crazy to think about. The internet wasn't really a thing yet, but I was trying to learn it. I was in college, but we weren't doing any. Hardscape just was not what it is now. But I bought a Black & Decker home landscape projects book or something from Lowe's, and I read through that, and that got me kind of started. And then I went to a college bookstore, and I saw all the curriculum they had there on at Columbus State. Went to their college bookstore, and I bought a handful of books there, and probably put off paying my phone bill or my insurance or something ignorant. Mark Parker. And bought the books instead. And I would do dumb stuff like that all day long. I'd put off paying truck insurance to buy books, to learn stuff, or to buy a tool or a machine. I was an idiot. Not far removed from that. Zach Turneau and Jeremy Swihart are going to want to do a breakout of marriage advice at Together in the Trades in Big Sky, Montana. One of their methodologies, they said, to let their wives know that they were going snowmobiling is to just let the credit card receipt come in and let them see the reservation in there, and then the wife would know that they're going snowmobiling. And they thought that was good way to break that to your spouse that they're going. Your comment? Do you think that's good marital advice? Because they want to do a breakout session on tips like that.
I will not be inviting them to speak.
What? I thought that was pretty solid. It saves everybody kind of some awkward stuff there. She kind of sees it, gets mad, whatever. Let's see here.
Or if he pays the credit card bill, then she just never knows about it. Period.
And then he just
leaves.
Yeah. I think that's what Turneau does, and he can't figure out why his wife's mad at him. He's not so good at it. Hamilton, Ohio. We've done some work down there in Hamilton. We actually just did a job down in Hamilton. Didn't we? At a Walmart or a Costco or something down there.
Yeah. I think it's that retaining wall job.
Yeah, we did a retaining wall repair down there. That was a fun one. That was cool. What else going on here? It's better to ask forgiveness than permission. I think that's the premise of their speech.
That doesn't work like that at all.
That'll be good at Together in the Trades in Big Sky, Montana. That's about sold out, by the way. I think probably it's probably 5/8
it's
sold.
exciting. They're gonna lose.
Oh well, we got to pause there.
Okay, sorry.
All right, YouTube. We've been going half hour on YouTube. That's wild.
Okay, can you hear us still? I got another phone call. I should turn those off.
It's better to ask forgiveness than for permission. Correct. Okay. I don't know that that's good spousal advice, but
Together in the Trades, July 14th and 15th in Big Sky, Montana this year. We're doing 2 half days.
There's Zach again. He's back, or he's around.
Hi, Zach. We're doing. I don't like your advice. But we're doing 2 days, 2 mornings, and then that way you have the afternoon to explore Yellowstone and go see Old Faithful and go on 4-wheeler rides and everything else. So it should be a great time. Tickets are selling. We still have some available, but you want to go ahead and buy your tickets and book your hotel because hotels are limited there.
Another question. Thank you for the audio report there. Appreciate that. Where do you see Auman in 3 years? Again, I know, but it came back up. 2 year, probably 2 million in sales, 6 field producers, Hardscape Academy going well and like being busy, and just producing tons and tons of awesome free and educational and pay content here from the studios and the facilities. So that's the 3 year the short term big picture goal, and really just refining the company. Like I think we're at a point where with the facility and the way we're outfitted and the guys we have a chance to really refine things and really running like a well-oiled machine. Find some good key people, add some really good key staff.
At this point, the only thing holding us back is ourselves.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, that's always
I know.
Always QA, we hover around $1 million in sales. This year's down from that for sure because the shop build, I've been absolutely consumed with this shop build. So,
which was something I don't think we really accounted for. I didn't.
Yeah, we set our budget based on $1 million in sales, and we did not hit that at all. I think we're barely going to clear out barely 800.
Yeah.
And
but you did like $200,000 for work.
Yeah, I worked I mean, this will be tomorrow night. I'll have 90 hours in here at the shop. So I was just trying to ramp up and be ready because we have a training. We still have a couple openings for that. If you're nearby and you want to drive up, Mulder's going to be here for the last half of Tuesday, getting ready for his training on Wednesday with us. It's going to be amazing. Zach's going to be a guide on the side-by-side day there in Big Sky, Montana.
Well, then he's welcome to come.
But it's not too late to get in on either the Mulder day. That's $800, or the 2-day training prior, which is $1,200, and learn how to build pavers, retaining walls, all that kind of stuff. Like that's going to be awesome. And we're going to get out other stuff. We're going to talk French drains, lighting with our friends at Green Foundry. We got lots of cool stuff coming up, folks. Duramax Dan, seen that before. Brian Ray says YouTube's audio sounds fine. Thank you, Brian.
Utility trailer. Should I then buy a?
You're gonna have to hit like do not disturb.
Well, tell the Blades people to stop calling us.
Is that really the Blades? Yeah. Like Blades Direct, those pesky guys. Don't buy. They from literally Blades
call
Direct.
Every day.
Don't buy from Blades Direct. They're the peskiest salespeople ever. Why we do recommend using Latix. They're the least annoying Blade salespeople, I think, except for one guy named Pete. What is it about Blade people, though? There's something in that culture. It's just awful. Latix promo code Auman gets you 20% off your Diamond Blade purchase, and they won't harass you like the other brands will. And if they ever start doing that, let me know because I'm gonna scold them.
Okay, I have a utility trailer. Should I then buy a dump or enclosed? What would you do in your case when you were 3 years in?
Get a dump truck if you can. Otherwise,
if you can't afford a dump truck, then get a dump
trailer. Get a dump trailer. Absolutely, get a dump trailer. But get a dump truck as soon as you can. Absolutely. It's a good question.
Get a heavy-duty dump trailer.
Yeah, don't skimp on the dump. Don't buy a used dump trailer. Those things are nothing but abused, and you'll have more headache with that thing and nightmare. Figure out a way to buy a brand new one with no issues. Sorry about the phone call there, folks. Certified Landscape Construction. He's the fellow that loved my pencil sharpening video the other day. Yeah, sorry, folks.
Not our finest hour wants to know if they can camp out on Mulder.
Absolutely. Dude, you would be more than welcome. I'll figure out how to get you here. Fullerton says no audio here, no audio gear, no audio Richard Gere. Boy, that's an old reference. I missed the hour.
We still don't have sound.
All right, fix that or shut this stupid thing down. I'm over this. Fighting with audio. People do not want to mess with audio.
Okay.
Thank you, baby.
Then tell them goodbye.
So did you fix it?
I don't know.
What'd you do?
Is the audio back?
Now you just crashed it. Okay, let's try that one more time. Great sound. Thumbs down, Mr. G says.
Well, Mr. G, I'm doing what I can.
Okay, so you do this. You go. Where's the airplane killed it? I thought airplane at least run Wi-Fi.
Okay, are we still there?
No, I killed it with the airplane. But I mean, it's gone.
Are we back?
Well, if anybody's still there, I'll be shocked.
I don't know how to turn my phone calls
We'll give
off.
that one last chance. We've been going for like 45 minutes here, so it's time to wrap it up.
Okay.
Okay, so a bunch of people joining. What you need, Keith? They're back where you put them just to avoid this circumstance. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
See you, Keith.
We'll be back next Thursday.
We're back again. Yeah, we're going to do this live. Yeah, thank you, Steel Cuts. That's exactly the answer. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Frazier, how you doing, man? I haven't talked to you in a while. Mr. G, all good. Yep, stay well. Likewise. I got sound for a second. I think we're back. Jay Gavalos, to reiterate what Steel Cuts wrote there for us. Appreciate that. buy a dump truck if you can. Absolutely. At least buy a dump trailer if you can't afford a dump truck. Buy a brand new dump trailer. Don't buy a used dump trailer. They're all treated like your ex-girlfriend. They all been just that joke didn't go where I wanted to, and it wasn't directed at you necessarily. What I mean is that thing has got more issues than Sports Illustrated. That dump trailer. Don't buy a used dump trailer. It's just you're going to put more money in that thing. But again, I've been there. I get it. Like you got to do what you got to do. It's not about the price of it. It's about the cash flow of it. I get it. So, but you really do got to dump truck. Yes. If not, dump trailer, brand new. If not, use dump trailer. Get into a new one as fast as you can. And that would be my advice there. Frazier, what would we talk about? I'm curious, Frazier.
Is a used dump truck good? I
would be more inclined to buy a used dump truck than I would buy a used dump trailer. But again, the dump truck, you can guarantee that thing has been overloaded and overworked. Now, the good thing the way you could look at it is, say it's got 80,000 miles on it. Well, it's probably only been loaded for 40,000 of them, if you want to look at it that way. But I'd be very particular with a used dump truck. I've bought several of them.
So the thing is, are you handy? Are you capable of fixing things? Do you have time to fix things? Do you know a good mechanic? Do you know a good diesel mechanic? Those are all the questions that you need to ask yourself. And if you have a mechanic friend, or you can pay your local mechanic to come with you to take a look at the dump truck before you purchase it used, that would also be incredibly valuable and worth $200 of his time or whatever his hourly rate is. So
Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Never heard of it.
I would look into that. Do you have any thoughts on equipment companies pricing through the roof?
Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Oh, Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Brian's Lawn Maintenance. What am I going to do with
They don't
Brian's
even follow
Lawn
you on
Maintenance?
Instagram.
That's what I heard.
I don't even know how they're on here.
Outdoor Project Podcast. There they are.
Do you have any advice about equipment and pricing through the roof?
I was talking to AJ Brentzel the other day, and they run like a $9 million construction company out in Pittsburgh area. And they said equipment financing rates are so ridiculous. They're fixing a lot of stuff. And I think you're going to see a lot more of guys just trying to fix as much stuff as possible. So
the used equipment is just as much as
and that's also true. But I think you're going to see with an economic cool down, I think you'll start to see equipment cool down as well, because this next year is going to be really interesting. And I don't even dare want to make I don't even dare want to make like thank you, Outdoor Project Podcast. Appreciate that. Our goal is to make our podcast studio as nice as your temporary studio down there in at the GIE. When I saw that, I wanted to do something similar to that, or Equip.
No,
Equip. I don't care. I'm gonna say how I want to. I want to make my studio as nice as your temporary studio was down there at Equip. That was really a beautiful setup. I wanted to do something similar to that. I was definitely not going to do anything that fancy. It was an awesome setup down there. Brian Lawn Maintenance there, Filtered and Unfiltered podcast, all that. Of course. There you go. How to protect your business from recession. Well, there you go, Frazier. We got a topic there, buddy. Shoot me a DM. J&B, thank you. We'll see him. That J&B is the guy who was talking about coming up from Missouri to do our fence project up here.
Oh yeah.
He's the guy I was talking to with that. But yeah, mowers being $20K. I would get out of the mowing business. I don't know how you can recover any money unless you're paying any attention. I don't know how you can recover a $20,000 mower, the overhead of it. I don't know. That's absurd.
Maybe
a $20,000 lawnmower. I don't care if it does. It doesn't is the thing. That's the thing. Mowers are still $20,000 or 15, and you still only get 3,000 hours at the most out of them before they start being unreliable or downtime issues. You really need to have with mowing incredible route density and efficiency and really great pricing, which probably the first thing to get chopped in prices is bad economy is lawn care. And so I would try to get out of lawn care. It's a great stepping stone. It's there forever. And lawn care kind of goes two ways, in my opinion. And I did lawn care for 10 freaking years. Lawn care goes two ways. Owner operator, high profits, high margins, dense routes. Awesome. Fullerton's a great example of that. I know a handful of people, John Pajak, Turf Tamer, Nalo Taliaferro's got a great route, great setup. Joe DePace, bunch of people. They're great examples of that. once you try to scale lawn care, you got to go big in lawn care because the margins just go to hell, and that's really challenging. So you either got to go really big with lawn care, I think it seems like, or stay super niche, and then it's really profitable again. But yeah, that's kind of my this auto renew down here on YouTube or whatever.
What?
The comments or whatever down there. Patriot Lawns there in I think it's the same Patriot there in Oklahoma. Rory there. We got our Christmas lights up on our shop. Hopefully he'd be proud of us there. So
The
yeah,
side
but
looks like the Grinch.
but the equipment deal is really tough because used equipment when I say historically, historically over the last last 18 months, not even longer than that, used machinery with 2,000 hours on it is like 10 grand less than a brand. So you could buy a used machine with 2,000 hours on it that's like 3 years old for 10,000 less than a brand new machine with a warranty. And it's like, that makes no sense to me. Zero to buy a used machine with a couple thousand hours on it. Now, if you can get the brand new machine, that's another thing. But I also, so it's just one of those things. With as complicated as new machines are, and as much tech that's in them, and emissions and all that garbage, and making these things unreliable, just failing because a wire got crossed or something, like it's crazy not to just go ahead and buy brand new. I think if you can. Again, I get it, been there, but the biggest thing about buying used equipment, I think, Britt, you're not in a shot. Nobody wants to see me. The biggest thing about buying used equipment is, are you mechanically, and Britt said this earlier, are you mechanically inclined? And if you're not, I would be very careful about buying used junk equipment, because if you don't know how to fix it or have a cheap mechanic, you're going to get buried in repair costs. And two, do you have the time to fix, the downtime machinery? And I get it. I've been there. I've done all that, so if you're that level in business,
But
where
you
you're
were
starting
also
out,
handy. You also fixed everything.
Yeah, I more or less was fairly handy and could do that. Thank gosh.
But not everyone has that background.
Right. And that's why I say, like, you've got to figure out and if that's the case and you're not very mechanically inclined and everything that needs repaired has got to go to a shop facility, I would say be very specialized in what you do so that you can not be spread out a million, having a skid steer and doing some landscaping and then doing some mowing. Like, you need to be very
focused. If you have down equipment, you have to go rent something. That's your monthly payment for, if you have to rent it for 2 days or a week, God forbid, that is your entire monthly payment on that machine. So a lot of people will try to find like a part-time mechanic that can come in the evenings for a few hours if stuff is broken, so they can do after-hours stuff. You got to come up with a solution if you're going to buy used. But we were able to buy used because we had parents and Caleb that were all helpful. So
what's that mean? They didn't give us money to buy stuff.
No, but like your dad was handy in helping you fix your mowers as you were growing the company and changing brake lines. Like, I don't know how many brake lines we've changed.
I love the we part.
I was out there with you. I hate you.
Oh my goodness. Togetherintotrades.com, folks. That was a bit harsh, don't you think, Brittany? My heavens, folks. The truth is out. She hates
many hours.
You have. I'm giving you a hard time. Stop it.
I'm giving you
Britt,
a hard time.
You should. It's too bad we were ahead of YouTube or weren't in YouTube. You should have done.
I could have became famous with this.
She rebuilt a hydraulic pump, a Hydrogear hydraulic pump, a seal kit on one of our zero-turn mowers back in the day.
Why did you let me do that? Why did I want to do that?
To prove that you could, because you get that in your head sometimes. You get hard. How are y'all preparing for a possible recession? We're always, don't encourage me, Grant. That only leads to more of this shenanigans. The biggest thing about, we have, so I would advocate, as low a debt overhead as possible. Otherwise, I would advocate as low overhead as possible. So we run fairly lean, I'd like to think. Even with this big, gigantic shop, our mortgage is not, it'd actually be more expensive for us to rent a facility this size than the mortgage is, which is wild. So I would just say definitely running very lean, selling equipment you don't need, getting rid of payments you don't need, and just really trimming things up and getting a lot of cash on hand. Because the thing is, Warren Buffett and all those big guys, they love recessions. They love downtimes because that's when they buy the most. That's when they buy real estate because it's on sale. They buy trucks and machines and businesses and all that stuff. They buy in a down market. You don't buy top of market. You buy it in the down market. You buy in a down economy. And so there's going to be some deals to be had here the next 12 months. I'm sorry. And that's that. So part-time comedian. Yeah. I walked away from landscaping, work in public, school now. What's going on here?
It's jumping around.
Okay. Well,
they didn't have a question.
Oh, okay.
Have a lake project. I don't know. We've been trying to go for a while now. Okay.
We're in Cleveland, Youngstown. Let's try to get those last comments. We're going to shut her down here. Am I doing this or are you doing this, honey bun? Seeley, what's up?
You're blocking this camera.
I have
so
a
you
few.
can't do
Oh,
this.
goodness forbid. People don't get to see my shining face. John Henry, permeable patio.
You got to read it out loud. No one else can read it.
I'm trying to even read it. Have a lake project looking at that is over on their. That is over on their.
You are so slow. Impervious surfaces by 154 square feet. Permeable patio is an option to make up some point, but they want it built over crush and run. Your thoughts?
Why do they want to build over crush and run? What the hell do they know? That's what I'd say. The hell do you know to demand this? And I would be careful of that job then too. If they even think they know what's better for their job than you do, I would be very cautious about that because chances are they're going to know a lot about your job that you apparently don't know. So I would watch out for that. Over or under
Fullerton
budget? That's a good question. I would say we are about right at budget and maybe a fuzz over. This last month, a lot of little things have popped up. That'll be interesting to kind of tally all up, but we're watching it at the same time.
But it's little stuff. Like the place can't drag on anymore. It's just got to get done.
No, it doesn't mean you just swipe a credit card and don't pay attention either. Like, no, you've got to be paying attention to that stuff. So, but I'd say mostly we're on budget. Now there were things we did that were not in budget with this build, like our fence. I totally screwed up our fence pricing. Like I got killed in that. I had like some obnoxiously low number of like 10 grand for fencing or 15, and we ended up being like $30,000 in fence, which is absurd. But we did 300 linear feet of chain link, and then 2 big welded gates, 3 technically. So the wood in the back is from Wood Veneer Hub, and it's sound deadening panels. I should do a live shop tour. That might be kind of popular.
We have 14 of
them. But otherwise, all our shop tour videos are up on our channel at YouTube there.
What's something you would have done different already?
Yeah, this is a great comment. What was that?
What's something you would have done differently?
In what? The shop build?
Bigger shop doors.
Yeah, bigger shop doors. I would have tried to be a little more accurate with one of the guys out there saw cutting and blowing dust all over a $60,000 brand new machine.
Not his.
What?
It's not his.
I am going to go say something about that. That's a little absurd. But I would try to just pay closer attention to the budget, but also as soon as the floor was saw cut, I would have filled those saw cut lines with polymeric sand, like Zulo said. It was a good comment of his, or a self-leveling caulk, because they're full of junk and dirt now, and you got to go through and scrape them out, all that. Things I would definitely do again. I'll do it on everything I build from here on. Heated floors is freaking amazing, and spray foam. Those are the 2 non-negotiables next building. It is absolutely incredible. Okay,
calculations for a 5-year rain. It's the county requirements.
It would be on crush run. That doesn't mean.
The pond is going in
pond.
up front.
Thank you, Jason. You guys make a lot of money. We try. It doesn't always happen.
Someday
Here's a good comment from Buffalo State on YouTube here. He said, I probably in response to my fixing equipment. Yes, $125 an hour is crazy for a mechanic. So buying used doesn't make that much sense anymore if you don't turn wrenches yourself. That is my statement. Way better, more succinct. That is exactly why I like buying used equipment. And if you can't fix it yourself, paying $125 an hour to fix it is ridiculous. Like one of our older paid for trucks was in yesterday for a booster pump or booster thing or something. And it's $1,000 on a 20-year-old, as an 08, so however old that is, 15 years old. That sucks. That's really crappy. But I mean, I know it going into it, whatever. So, but
Okay.
we're still pulling overhead off that truck or recovering costs on that truck as if it had a payment. So just because it's paid for doesn't mean you just start pocketing that money. You keep putting that away to pay for expenses like that and to buy the next one.
Okay. So yes, we do have radiant heat.
And by the way, our guys do awesome work. They're
We
just never
do,
perfect, right? And whose work is perfect.
So before we put the concrete in, they put this like green.
We have a YouTube video on it. Check it out
Yeah.
on our YouTube
They
channel.
put this mat down. It's ran off of natural gas and a hot water heater.
And we have natural gas heat otherwise, but we won't need it. The radiant flooring is amazing. It heats this whole place. It's kept at 67 in here religiously. And $150
Yeah, we don't have our
gas
HVAC
bill.
system completed yet.
It's not
So
even running.
these
no.
offices, even
67 degrees. I'm in a t-shirt. Feels awesome.
even when we had like negative temperatures over Christmas, the building still held. So with the foam and the heated floor. So that was
Heated
cool.
floors is awesome. Yeah, true permeable engineered design. Yeah, I mean, you got to have soil tests, all that stuff, permeability rates, all that kind of stuff. Well, hey there, Kelly, how you doing? Go ahead, Britt. You can break away if you want. If you want to do that here, we're about to shut down. It's been an hour here, anyways. So, but yeah, the permeable pavement stuff is really cool. If if a county requires it, but you got to have soil tests and runoff, and you got to have a place to dump excess or the overflow once the soils get saturated or hit a point called field capacity, which is when the water can no longer be accepted by the soil. The soil can no longer take any more water whatsoever, and then it starts pushing and shedding it off. Right, water shedding. We did survive the winter storm 2 weeks ago. We didn't have any busted pipes or anything, but I know a bunch of people that did. Brian down here, it was crazy. And real life things going on. You better believe it. Folks, I think we're out of here for the day, an hour long live. That was pretty cool. It was pretty good. Success, great success. And I would say so. Guys, thanks for joining us here. I appreciate it. YouTube, check out our YouTube channel, Kid Contractor Podcast, the Hardscape Academy. If you're local, Auman Landscape for hire or for employment, if you want to join a team with some really nice equipment and hopefully not killing yourselves working for us, that's the goal. Someone needs to do a reality TV show of a landscape company, similar to how they did Gold Rush. Yeah, somebody could do that. I'm not interested in. Thoughts on the Federal Reserve? That's a great question. I'd love to talk more about that. Maybe we'll talk about that on the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast since it's unfiltered. I'm listening to a podcast called The Good Old Boys right now, and they're having a very interesting discussion about centralized planned economies and financial systems and things. It's interesting. Potted luck. Would you do open grade stone on a driveway that's basically level? Yeah, sure. But any water that gets in that open graded system, you need to make sure it's got a place to go. So you need an exfiltration pipe and stuff like that. So yeah, that's for you, Brian. There you go, buddy. Folks, we're gonna jump off here. We got training starting Monday. I got a lot of stuff still to get ready for that. It's gonna be awesome. So with that being said, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Have a good one. We're gonna sign off of YouTube there. And hey, I could be a politician if I needed to be. But that being said, but ultimately, we believe in freedom here, and people should be free to do what they like, as they like, as long as it doesn't interfere with anyone else's natural rights, God-given rights, or constitutional rights. We're signing off on that one. Folks, have a great one. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks so much. I saw that. Oh, man, come on. Yeah. Thank you, Travis. And of course, help yourself if you want. There's cups in here, make coffee or whatever. Or I'll make you a cup if you want. You want a cup? I don't have cream or sugar or anything. Okay, cool. Oh, and she. Okay. Okay. How you doing, Calvin?
So anyways, all we needed was 65,000. It goes down to the circle, but I don't need to make it bigger if we would need it.
Or she would want, you know what I mean, but.
It didn't come with any chairs or anything.
No, well, I did keep them on the chairs, but.
But, yeah.
It was, see, hers is even this, big. I would.
So it goes,
Oh, you have a leaf in it. Oh,
yeah,
okay,
so this has
cool.
a leaf, in it. So it goes down pretty
Okay,
small.
cool, yeah,
But then like for a holiday, if you wanted to. expand
right,
it,
where'd
you
you
could.
get this one?
World Market, we ordered it. It came in like 3 days. So.
So, but I
It
told
was
her, I
like
said, you
500
know,
bucks.
I said, big lots for mom, it's no, you know,
Yeah.
get her just a sleeker, couch and, we'll be done. I'll start packing her up, you know. And so basically, we can do her recliner, TV and bed and. then there's one dresser and stuff, so it won't be anything. Yeah, like I said, don't see that on first year, we'll pick it up. And be done. We can do that weekend, we can do that weekend. And then, yeah, I tried to just get rid of some of the big items, so that way you won't just not so crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, it's probably about time, isn't it? It's what? Yeah, what time is it now, though?
I told you guys, I just want
No.
to. You didn't.
Hey, Travis,
you got one, yes?
Right there.
Um,
I don't have any of those,
to-
I know we have the throwaway cups, so just smash that one.
What I'm finished?
Chisel out my mortar that Mark said, chisel out.
In your bathroom?
I had no idea what I was doing, so I put too much mortar on. When I put it, I had whole metal. And it doesn't bother me. I don't even notice it. I go, so. I need to clean it. So what do you have to do now? We, yeah, it does show yourself over again, so it is. Just in the spot, I have to pull it out. This is the spot. This is the spot. You know what, in real time, did not have a lot of shooters. No, I mean, we could throw it there. Oh, okay. I ran out of tile, and I have.
You can't pop that out.
Caleb can pop out. I have one for years.
Because mom's gonna be crazy with that.
Yes, but I could do a shoot around with that here. Yeah. But, yeah, so like, mostly I just have to just say. I was so proud of it. into like money. So I'm hoping the sign company or the writer storage unit doesn't have a line.
Oh, okay.
I have to go to Levi and then go to Caleb's mom and then go to Lowe's or ours or somewhere.
So she got back, and I guess a couple of them were talking, and Sandy goes, "Well, now, Mom, Terry, it doesn't mean we have to go now," or something like that. And Mom goes, "Sandy, I'm moving." She told her that's why we got back. Oh, no. So then when I dropped her off yesterday, I went in and went down to the apartment stuff. Anyways, I dropped her off, and she went down to Janice to see what Janice told her what we found out. She was just worried about her son Brian, because he doesn't have mental, I mean, he's not retarded and he doesn't drive around, but she's still worried about him riding that far, you know. And Mom said, well, so the one that they're building, assisted living across from, Lancaster High School. That's gonna be Violet Springs.
Oh.
It's gonna be another Violet Springs, so she told us that, I said, we're going one in Lancaster. I said, you come across the Lancaster High School, she just be our. Yeah, so that's what's gonna be, and I was like, how nice, I said, because Lancaster doesn't have anything like this at all. I mean, we got probably 18 months, you know, at least a year, but, yeah. So that's what's going there. But anyway, so, Mom got back, and so Sandy looked up, she was, so, did you know you were going there when you Kelly picked you up? And Mom goes, no, she lied, but Mom goes, no, she said, she goes, Kelly, I had something, we were just going to lunch to talk about it, and then when we got to talking, Kelly picked up the phone and said, hey, can we come up to that apartment again? I was like, who cares?
Yeah, she doesn't need her clearance.
So then I guess Mom, because I called Mom last night and she was telling me this, and she goes, and then she went down and put a $200 deposit down to be on the waiting list for a 1 bedroom. She was not moving in a studio. I said, well, she's kind of stupid because I realized that I don't want a studio either. I said, but if she stored some of her stuff, well, but if she stored it for a little bit, she's gonna have to get rid of some of it. I'm not getting her property. She'll pack full of shit. And she thinks her furniture costs all this money, you know, like 20 years ago, very expensive. And I said, and she thinks she's gonna just sell it. I said, Mom, that stuff is so dated. She goes, that's what I'm trying to tell her. She said, nobody's gonna want to pay money for that. It's dated furniture. You know, yeah, maybe somebody starting out might want it, or, you know what I mean, you know, but it's dated for, it's not like we should
Not bring a fortune.
I don't know.
Actually, no one's going to buy it.
No, but whatever, she'd be better off to call Salvation Army like I'm doing, they'll come and actually put the shit up. So anyway, so she put it to, I said, but if she would just hang on, go ahead and get in. I said, it may be before she gets that on. I said, but if she would hang on and take that studio until like she would have first bids for the big bed when the 1 bedroom came out. So
She could even make it to where she just goes over there to sleep and she hangs out with grandma during the day. If they really wanted to.
I know, she just.
And she could treat it
She
She could treat it like a bathroom version.
She could treat it like a bathroom. So, yeah, Sandy is just, I don't know, I told Mom, I'm actually gonna be glad to just get away from her a little bit.
It'll be interesting to see how they.
Well, I said it'd be interesting to see if Sandy does that coming out. Once she wait a little bit.
She might make a new friend and decide to stay.
Well,